And the news tonight. State government commences monitoring of healthcare facilities under its contributory health insurance scheme. Speaker of the State House of Assembly elected chairman of National Conference of Speakers. Federal government commences implementation of renegotiated agreement with ASU. French president calls on European nations to act as a global power. Good evening and welcome to Delta Television Main News. I am Pauline Okolie. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. The Director General of the State Contributory Health Insurance Commission, Dr. Isaac Akpoveta, has launched the monitoring of healthcare facilities under the scheme. The exercise aims to evaluate the effectiveness of the program in improving access to healthcare for residents. Eunice Emeazia reports.
The Director General of the State Contributory Health Insurance Commission, Dr. Isaac Akpoveta, has launched the monitoring of healthcare facilities under the scheme. The exercise aims to evaluate the effectiveness of the program in improving access to healthcare for residents. The DG's tour began at the Asaba Specialist Hospital, where he visited departments including the antenatal, maternity and pediatrics, as well as operating theaters, with focus on the quality of services provided to beneficiaries towards ensuring the scheme's objectives are met. He also interacted with patients, many of whom expressed appreciation for the free and quality services.
This is not my first delivery. I've delivered before here. I did not pay attention. All thanks to Governor Sheriff.
I've benefited a lot here. This is my second time, and I didn't pay any dime. Whenever my kids have any little illness, I just rush them down to this place without paying any dime. Thank you so much. Thank you, Governor Oborivere.
Dr. Akpoveta called on the public to continue supporting the scheme, describing it as essential for its long-term success. He said the scheme provided affordable healthcare to vulnerable populations, covering a wide range of medical services at no cost, emphasizing that the program ensured that all residents, regardless of socioeconomic status, had access to quality care. The Director General commended the State Governor, the Right Honorable Sheriff Oborivere, for his support to the Commission and the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joseph Onojame, observing the conducive environment of the hospital and dedication of staff.
But governor say any woman when they Delta, you get belle, just come to hospital. From the day you get belle till you deliver, you carry a call and sheriff begin. Governor behind you, he already put money aside, plenty of money to pay for all your bills. He's a good governor. He dey make roads, he dey make bridges. Government don't pay more than 20 billion naira for pregnant women. All the money they deliver this country for the last 2 years when government come, then they pay for them more. And the commissioner for health too, he did our behind. He's very happy.
The monitoring forms part of broader efforts to improve the reach and effectiveness of the scheme, ranked number 1 in the country.
The Delta State Contributory Health Commission is doing quite a lot to better the health of Deltans, and through the initiative of Governor Sheriff Oborivere, the free health care for the pregnant women and the under 5, you can see how happy the people are. Well, it's health for all Deltans.
Eunice Emeazia reporting.
As part of efforts to expose students of the Royal Mira All Saints International School, Asaba, to the tenets of broadcasting, the management of the school has taken the students on an excursion to the Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS, Asaba. Henry Usiayo reports.
The students were conducted around key sections of the station, including the master control room, television studio, radio studio, newsroom, edit suite, and other technical units, where they were introduced to processes involved in radio and television broadcasting, including live broadcasts. Speaking on the essence of the visit, one of the teachers expressed appreciation to the management and staff of DBS Asaba for the warm reception and detailed explanations provided during the tour, noting that the experience would enhance the students' learning beyond the classroom.
And as an educational outfit, we feel that we don't just have to be in class. We have to come out and see how things are done outside. They've been listening to radio, watching television. They should see and get to know how these things get to them.
The students expressed excitement over the opportunity, describing the visit as educative and inspiring, while thanking DBS Asaba for hosting them.
Well, I felt intrigued and curious to learn new things and how things are being taught in class are used in the outside world. Short excursion to the Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba for an educating and exciting experience.
Today at DBS Asaba, we visited the MCR, which is the Master Control Room, we visited the studio, and we visited the radio transmitter board. I'm very happy because I got to see plenty of the news broadcasters that I hear on radio DBS Asaba, such as Pauline Okoli.
Henry Usiayu reporting.
Similarly, pupils of the likes of Samuel International School, Asaba, have been exposed to practical media experience following an educational excursion to Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS Asaba. Over again to Henry Usiayu.
Adult pupils were taking around key sections of the station, including the master control room, television studio, radio studio, newsroom, edit suites, and other technical units, where they were introduced to processes involved in program production and transmission. Speaking during the excursion, the head teacher of the school described the visit as a valuable learning experience that complemented classroom teaching and broadened the pupils' knowledge of the media industry.
Okay, we brought our children here to show them around the broadcasting house so that they learn one of the things, how news come about. Some of them, the news they watch on television, the ones they listen to on radio, how does it come about? Is it just that people are talking? Now today we brought them here so that they will see the studio, see the equipment, how the news, learn how the news is being edited from the newsroom and how it enters the area, people listen to it. And I want to say thank you to the Delta Broadcasting Service for accepting us and taking us round the broadcasting house.
Some of the pupils expressed excitement over the excursion, noting that the visit gave them first-hand knowledge of how programs were produced and presented on air.
I learned plenty things. I'm happy to be here. Yes, I learned so much things. I'm happy to be here today because we learned about TV and radio.
Henry Usiayu reporting.
The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Emomotimi Guo, has been elected chairman of the Conference of Speakers of State Legislators in Nigeria. Right Honorable Guo emerged as chairman during an extraordinary session of the conference held in Abuja, where he was returned unopposed by his colleagues. His emergence has been attributed to his leadership record and diligent service as treasurer of the conference since 2023. Also elected into the leadership of the conference are the Speaker of the Borno State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Abdul Karim Lawal, as deputy chairman, while the Speaker of the Niger State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Abdul Malik Dani, was elected treasurer, with the Speaker of the Ondo State House of Assembly elected as financial secretary, among other officers. In his acceptance speech, Right Honorable Guo expressed appreciation to his colleagues for the confidence reposed in him, noting that the unity displayed during the election reflected the collective resolve of speakers to strengthen democracy and reposition state legislatures as key pillars of Nigeria's constitutional governance framework. He pledged to serve with integrity, fairness, and commitment to the Nigerian people. Governor Sheriff Oborowori has congratulated the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Emomotimi Guo, on his emergence as Chairman of the Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures of Nigeria. The Right Honorable Guo emerged at the general meeting of the conference held yesterday in Abuja. In a statement by its Chief Press Secretary, Sir Festus Ahom, Governor Oborowori described the election as well-deserved, noting that it reflected the Right Honorable Guo's legislative experience, leadership qualities, and commitment to democratic governance. The governor, who previously served as treasurer and deputy chairman of the Speakers Forum during his tenure as Speaker of the House of Assembly, said the Conference of Speakers played a strategic role in promoting cooperation among state legislatures and advancing good governance. He expressed confidence that the Speaker would provide inclusive and reform-driven leadership and boost Delta State's profile and influence in national legislative affairs. Similarly, the Commissioner for Special Duties, Government House, Asaba, Dr. Michael Oswaza, has congratulated the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Emomotimi Guo, on his emergence as Chairman of the Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures of Nigeria. In a congratulatory message, Dr. Oswaza described the elevation as a reflection of Right Honorable Guo's distinguished leadership, sound legislative judgment, and commitment to democratic ideals. He noted that the confidence reposed in the Speaker by his colleagues across the Federation underscored his capacity for consensus building and institutional development. Dr. Oswaza expressed optimism that the Right Honorable Guo's tenure would promote unity, innovation, and reforms that would further strengthen legislative independence and effectiveness across the country. Also, the Director General of the State Bureau for Orientation and Communications, Dr. Fred Ogenesiwe, has commended the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Emomotimi Dennis Guo, describing him as a distinguished legislative leader and role model for youths. He gave the commendation following the Speaker's election as Chairman of the Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures of Nigeria. Dr. Ogenesiwe noted that the State Assembly had recorded notable achievements under Right Honorable Guo's leadership, while also praising the strong collaboration between the executive and the legislature. The Bureau DG added that the development had elevated Delta State's national profile and urged the Speaker to sustain his leadership legacy, while commending members of the House for their dedication to legislative duties. The federal government has begun implementing welfare provisions in its renegotiated agreement with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, including a 40% increase in the consolidated academic allowance for lecturers in federal universities effective January 1, 2026. A statement by the Federal Ministry of Education says some universities have already reflected the increment in salary payments, while Vice Chancellors have been directed to ensure full compliance and integrate the increase into payroll structures in line with guidelines from the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission. Minister of Education Dr. Marufa Lausa said the implementation demonstrated President Bola Tinubu's commitment to honoring agreements in the education sector, noting that the allowance, alongside the consolidated academic tools allowance, was aimed at improving staff morale, strengthening research and teaching, and stabilizing the public university system nationwide. The Senate has amended Section 60 of the Electoral Act to mandate electronic transmission of election results to the Independent National Electoral Commission's result viewing portal, IREV, while allowing manual result sheets to be used where electronic transmission fails. The amendment adopted today at plenary, presided over by Senate President Godswill Akpabio, requires presiding officers to transmit results electronically after completing and signing Form EC8A at polling units. Under the revised provision, the law allows manual result sheets to serve as the primary basis for collation and declaration of results if electronic transmission is unsuccessful due to network or communication failure. The decision has sparked concerns among civil society organizations, and the opposition figures who argue that prioritizing manual results could weaken electoral transparency and create room for manipulation, especially in areas with poor network coverage. Meanwhile, the Senate has constituted a 12-member conference committee to harmonize differences with the House of Representatives on the Electoral Amendment Bill, with expectations that the final version will be transmitted to the President for assent soon. The Senate has assured President Bola Tinubu of its readiness to work closely with the executive arm to ensure the timely passage and effective implementation of this year's appropriation bill. Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio gave the assurance during a public hearing on the budget organized by the Senate Committee on Appropriations at the National Assembly, Abuja, where he was represented by Deputy Senate President Senator Barau Jibrin. Senator Akpabio said the legislature remains committed to its constitutional responsibilities of oversight, accountability, and legislative support to stabilize the economy and improve the welfare of Nigerians. He described the budget hearing as a critical democratic process, noting that Nigeria was facing inflationary pressure, infrastructure deficits, unemployment, and security challenges that directly affect citizens' daily lives, stressing the need for fiscal discipline and measurable impact from public spending. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has reminded prospective candidates that registration for the 2026 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, will close on February 26, stressing that there will be no extension. The board, in its weekly bulletin, expressed concern over the low turnout of candidates at accredited registration centers, noting that delays were often encouraged by individuals seeking to exploit the process for examination malpractice. The board warned that the registration, which began on January 26 and scheduled to last for 5 weeks, remained on course, advising candidates to complete their registration promptly and disregard claims of deadline extension. The state government has approved the use of all Vehicle Inspection Office VIO centers for safety training programs for truck drivers across the state to improve professionalism and safety standards. A statement signed by the functioning Permanent Secretary, Minister of Information, Mrs. Stella Macaulay, says the program, which has been organized by the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment in collaboration with the Joint National Safety Committee of Nigeria, JNTSCN, and security agencies, will commence on the 2nd of March. The statement adds that trained drivers will receive certificates jointly endorsed by the State Directorate of Transport, while the JNTSN will facilitate the registration of participants in the Delta State Contributory Health Commission for insurance coverage. You're watching Delta Television Main News. Still to come, French president calls on European nations to act as a global power. Please stay with us. We'll be back. Welcome back. And from the foreign scene, French President Emmanuel Macron has urged Europe to assert itself on the world stage, saying it is time to start acting like a power. In the face of growing threats from China, Russia, and now the US, he told a group of European newspapers that the continent faced a wake-up call. Macron repeated his call for EU-wide mutualized loans in order to raise hundreds of billions of euros needed for industrial investment. Similar calls on the past have met skepticism from Germany and other countries who feel France wants to use Europe to bear a financial burden which it alone, because of its failure to reform, is unable to take up. Macron admitted that France has never had a balanced model, unlike certain economies of the North, which are built more on a sense of responsibility. But he said there was growing demand in the world's financial markets for mutualized European debt, which currently the EU was not equipped to supply. Away from the foreign scene and back home, in the world of business and the economy, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, have unveiled a joint framework to address failures in airtime and data transactions that leave subscribers debited without receiving service. Director of Consumer Protection and Financial Inclusion at the CBN, Dr. Aisha Isaolatinwo, said the initiative was aimed at protecting consumers and improving accountability across the country. Under the proposed system, service providers are expected to process automatic refunds within 30 seconds for failed transactions with a maximum resolution window of 24 hours for pending cases. The NCC said the central monitoring dashboard would track transaction failures and refund compliance, while stakeholders had until February 20 to submit feedback. A thought for the day: don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by seeds that you plant. Take a look at our highlights before we go. The Director General of the State Contributory Health Insurance Commission, Dr. Isaac Akpoveta, has launched the monitoring of healthcare facilities under the scheme. The exercise aims to evaluate the effectiveness of the program in improving access to healthcare for residents. The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Momotimi Guo, has been elected Chairman of the Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures of Nigeria. The federal government has begun implementing welfare provisions in its renegotiated agreement with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, including a 40% increase in the consolidated academic allowance for lecturers in federal universities effective January 1, 2026. And from the foreign scene, French President Emmanuel Macron has urged Europe to assert itself on the world stage, saying it's time to start acting like a power. And that's our news. You can also follow us on Facebook at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba and on YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. Thank you very much for watching. I am Pauline Okoli. Good night.